Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and on this channel I share my love of all things paper crafting. Now, in my last video we made this very cute little notebook, very simple, easy project, would be a great one to send to a friend or happy mail swap. But what I'm doing this for is a swap that I am in. It's a year-long project where we make junk journal ephemera and swap with a partner. Every month it's someone different and they all like different things. So the lady I'm doing this for loves nature and vintage. So that's of course where we were headed with this idea. So the second piece I have to make for her is a little bit different. The original inspiration came from Kathy's garden again, and Kathy did hers in sort of in an envelope shape, you know, so it ends up like that. I decided to try something a little different, so instead of doing it envelope style, I decided to turn my project around this way and make more like a little folio, especially because we are all working in A5 size journals, so that's half a piece of paper width and height, and I thought, you know, something that would sit in a journal like that would be more practical than something that sits like this. So we're using her basic inspiration, but of course I'm going to do things a little bit differently. What I've got here, as I mentioned in the first video, this is a mini kit from Ink and Page. Follow her on Instagram, sign up for her newsletter. Every week you'll get something new to play with. Sometimes it's just a simple sheet of little bits of ephemera, or sometimes a mini kit, and that's what I'm going to be using here. I photocopied this onto matte photo paper, and I got my ever handy little spritz bottle of coffee that I always have handy, and I just gave it a spritz to get rid of the bright white and to tone this down a little bit, because these pages, the journal pages, are quite bright compared to the ephemera, and seeing we're vintage vibing, we're just getting the old coffee to come along and help us. So the first thing we have to do is we have to do some folding to get our basic shape happening. So this piece of paper is now 29 by 20.5 centimeters. I've got a new printer. I bought myself an Epson EcoTank, which I absolutely adore, except I haven't figured out how to do borderless printing. Ran out of time, gave up looking, so just printed it and I trimmed the border off. So it's a little bit shy of a full A4 page, but that's beside the point. Now, I have made some tiny little marks on here, and in case you want to know the size of these, I've got 6.5 centimeters here. I've got 8.5 centimeters there. And then I have 4.75 centimeters there and 5.75. I've written them down here if you want to take a screenshot so that you can remember them, but they don't have to be exact. You'll see as I'm progressing through it, this doesn't have to be exact science, but just in case you want them, screenshot that and that will help you out. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start here, and we are going to try and, with the help of a ruler, whoops, and a piece of rubbish, that's always helpful, just to get it to the right spot and get us started. We're simply going to create a fold. As I said, this doesn't have to be exactly perfect. That's not how junk journalers play. We don't need it too perfect, but I do like things relatively straight. And then we can just gently burnish that down. And we're going to do exactly the same over on this side. Just so I know roughly where to start folding. There we go. all we're trying to do at the moment is create a fold and a fold so that one of them is a little bit longer than the other. We don't want them even. We want this to go over the top. So we're just gently folding here, trying to make sure we've sort of got it lined up. But you'll see as we progress through this, it doesn't matter if it's not that way. So we've created 2 folds lengthwise. Now we're going to open it up and we're going to do exactly the same thing, but now we're working across the page. So here is my little mark. There we go. Gently burnish that as well. And the same goes. Oh, there it is. I'm thinking, I know I have another mark somewhere, but where is it? Tried to do them nice and light. Not that you'll see them anyway, but that's beside the point. There we go. So all we've done is we've folded a piece of paper and made some marks. What we're now going to do is we're going to cut away the 4 corners. Now, don't get paranoid if they're not perfectly cut. Again, we can trim accordingly to make it all work out. There's one done. Two. And lucky last. Now, to make this project very easy, it would be best if you used an image that doesn't matter which way it's folded. Otherwise, you've just got to be very conscious of the top and the bottom. So that's one of the reasons why I picked this particular sheet, because it doesn't honestly matter which way it goes. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that here. I was a bit bodgy on that fold, so we're going to trim that off there. And we're also going to check the other side. No, the other side's good. All right. So this is what we end up with. Now, as you can see, these flowers, they are upside down officially, but not life or death. We can flip it round this way. And again, doesn't matter if the flowers are sort of upside down, but I am going to stick with it this way. So the first thing we're going to do is just very gently trim the tiniest bit off each of these. Reason being is once we stick this down as a pocket, if it's a tiny bit slimmer than the fold line, it's not going to create excess bulk. So we're just very gently trimming the tiniest bit off just to make sure we can fold neatly. Then we're going to grab our little our hole punch. I don't even know what size this one is, but we're going to simply eyeball and pop that down there. And before we glue anything, I think I might round the corners on all of this. Let's quickly do that. That way it sort of matches my little notebook. Even though these things don't have to be matching pairs, I sort of like them to sort of belong together. Now, I don't know if, I wonder if my machine can handle, because I don't know if this is going to get through here. Oh, it did actually work. Oh, I'm surprised, because this is just a cheapy little thing that I think I got off AliExpress once. And I honestly didn't think it would cope with cutting through all of this. But guess what? I'm very pleasantly surprised. So that's handy. All right, get rid of those little bits. Have we done them all? We have. And I think we will ink the edges. So what I'll do is just using brushed corduroy and my little finger pad here, I'm just going to gently do all of this. And what I'll do is I'll cut all this bit out. You don't need to watch me ink the whole thing. So I'll chop that bit out for you. I've also done a little bit on the inside, and now it's time to start adding some pockets. So the bottom one is very simple. All we have to do is add some glue down the side here, just a little bit. I always use tiger glue from Helmer's for all my paper crafting because it holds so well. And fold that over. So as you can see, we trimmed the edge a little bit so that when we fold these over, it's not too bulky. All right. So we'll just hold that there for one moment. I might just put a little clip on it just while we're creating the next ones. Now, from your cut off pieces that you did when we cut out the corners, we're going to use those for our next lot of pockets. So I think I might use that one there. Or do I want... No, we're going to do that. And that one there. But what we have to do, it's the same principle. We need to trim these down. So I'm going to take a little bit off each side. Because, again, we don't want excess bulk so that things don't fold over nice and neatly. And we'll just very gently... Oh, hang on a minute. I better... Which way do I want that? Yes, we'll have it that way. So we'll just quickly get rid of... We might just do all of those. Quickly ink the edge around here. I hope you are all well. I'm busy planning a holiday. I am going away Friday next week on a cruise. So trying to get all these things done before I go. Yes, that's a perfect fit. So, of course, with this one, we have to ink the 3 sides to create a pocket. In we go, keeping that sort of a little bit further, like right over to that edge. Again, we're trying to keep our folds clear. Just makes things stick together much nicer. Now, do we want a tall one here? Or do we want... Oh, decisions. Actually, what if we go with this one? But I might just trim it down a little bit. And then we can have 3 completely different sizes. And we're just trimming off the edge again so that it fits in neatly. How does that go? That looks good. So exactly the same process again. Let's try and not make the glue too thick so that we don't lose too much of our pocket. Okay. So down that one goes. Right over to the edge. Fabulous. Well, sort of. It's not quite there. There we go. Love it. That's that one. Now, they can just all sit there and dry for a few minutes. We now have this piece here, and what we're going to do is create a tuck spot up the top. This is another piece from the kit, and I thought what we could do is create a tuck spot. Let's see. Oh, actually, that might work very nicely. So let's trim that down here. Might as well stick with the pattern and do the same thing again. And we're just going to, again, glue down 3 sides to create our tuck spot. So I'm going to do it more like a pocket than a true tuck spot, because it's going to be folded over, and I think to help things sit in place and not fall out as easily, maybe this might work better as an upside down pocket type tuck spot arrangement. There we go. Now let that dry for a few minutes. What I want to do is add something to our fold over cover bit here. So what I had in mind, I was going through my stash and I found this delightful sticker sheet, of which I have used plenty. This was from Craft from many years ago, but I saw this floral strip and went, wouldn't that look delightful along there? So what we're going to do, we're going to work out roughly how much we need. Okay, so what we're going to do is just peel it off. And we'll just round that up. I might just cut out this little bit here because that's part of another flower, which I don't think we really want. And yep, we're going to go down to the bottom of this here and just trim that off a little bit. Okay, get rid of that because that's a bit sticky. Okay, does that fit? It does fit. Excellent. But I wonder, I don't really like this white edge and I don't feel like fussy cutting all that. What if we try a tiny little bit of inking edges just to soften that really bright white? Okay, that looks better. Now, I know this is a sticker, but I don't trust this to stay stuck because this is a very old sheet. I can't tell you how long I've had it for. So I think we need to add some glue to make sure it stays in place. I won't get too fanatical about everywhere, but I think as long as we put some down around the edge, that will help to hold it in place. Okay, over we go. That's actually very pretty. That was a good find. Sometimes you just never know what you've got hiding in there. There we go. Perfect. I love it. Now, the next thing we have to do is, I had this idea that I might put some pretty trim on here along the edge. We'll trim this off. And we're just going to run some glue all the way along. Actually, I might change my mind. I think I might use my fabric glue. This is another Helmer product that I got from Spotlight or a cheap shop. Oh no, from a cheap shop. I can see the bright yellow price tag. That's a bit of a giveaway. this might be better to hold this in place. So just running a strip the whole way along. And then just pop that down there. Okay, this glue dries very, very quickly, which is handy when you're doing projects like this. Now, the next thing, we have to consider a closure because this is going to be a folio style arrangement. Now, I was lucky, found this really pretty pale pink sparkly brad in my collection. Now, obviously, a lot of people may not have a brad of that size. So if you don't have a big one like this, I could use that alone as my tie. But if you don't have a nice big one and you only have little ones, that's not a problem. What we're going to do is grab this piece of scrap. We're going to cut a circle to, oh, let's see, I want to get, if I trim this down, because I want to try and get, I want to get this middle bit here, so I might have to trim that down a bit further. See what I'm trying to do? We're going to create our own little tab. And we're going to, this one I sort of want to measure. I want a rough idea of halfway. So just over 7. Yep, right in the middle of that leaf there. We are going to get a craft knife and we're going to cut a little slash in here. And that's to get the brad through. So we just need to make a hole and we need to do the same on this. So that way, if you just have a smaller brad, you can use this for your tie. Now, this is relatively thick. I certainly wouldn't want to use a flimsy bit of paper. It needs to be, you know, something fairly firm. And then, and we pop our brad in. Oh no, I forgot about my pocket. Oops. Okay. Funny thing about that, this is where sometimes it's easy to make mistakes. So now we have to think about how to fix this. All right. My fault. I made a mistake. I forgot all about the pocket on the other side. Oh, this is where you don't follow a true tutorial. You make something up yourself and sometimes things go wrong. That's okay. This is where you learn to find a solution. So first thing we're going to do is we will get the distress ink just onto this little patch to hide that white. You can barely see that cut, so that's fine. Then, now what we're going to do is we need to cut another hole, but we have to go a little bit higher. And what I'd like to try and do is get it as close as I can so that this still will cover that little hole that I've made. So now we're going to start again and we're going to cut another hole. See, sometimes experiments go wrong. But look, unless you try, you don't know. So where's the second hole? I've just cut that. You can just see it, but it's so faint, I'm going to pretend it's not there. Then we will fold that over. Now, of course, this is not ideal if you want to put things in and out of your pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. we're going to create another one. And we are going to glue it over the top. Be generous with the glue. Not get in the way of filling our pockets. Just gently lift that up. Pop that down there. And that will just hold in place for a minute. If I put that down there, that will put some pressure on the underside. And that way you can easily put things into your pocket without getting caught up on metal. Okay, pardon me. Then lucky last, we do need to add some string. All right, trim that off. Try and get right down underneath there. That's it. And then when we fold everything over, pardon me, this just folds around and voila. So I think I will cut that off there. So there's our basic folio. It doesn't matter that that's not right in the middle. It's all good. It still worked. Now I think we need some ephemera. We need to put some little things in our pockets. So I have a few goodies here that I have been playing with. And let's see what we can get to work. Oh, hang on a minute. I forgot something. I made this cute little butterfly, just printed it out on photo paper and added some glossy accents. I want him somewhere on here. Maybe on top of that white flower. Yes, let's get that down. And then we'll make some ephemera, or add some. There we go. Cute. Perfect. Okay, that can sit there. Now, let's have a look. What have I got? I have a ton of things. These ones here are all part of the kit. So they're very cute. We'll be adding those in. Then there's another sheet for this kit that looks like almost like a bit of a quilt pattern. And I thought they could be fun. And I've got a couple of other little things I found here, but I think that's going to be too big. Doesn't, the postcard would go, no, we might put it in that way. We can keep that there. Then I've got this cute little one that I've just trimmed the edges. Found this in my stash. Just backed it onto some coffee dyed paper that had a little bit of pink on it as well. I think that's quite cute too. Then I have this one here, and I thought we could add a little bit to it. So what I've done, we're going to gently tear down this here, and we're going to create a little, how long? About that, perfect. Little background piece. So again, we're sort of tying in with the other one I made, but not a full matchy-matchy set. So we'll just ink this up a little bit. Now we're going to glue this down, just simply using glue stick. go. And then this tiny little bit I've already cut and inked, and we can add that on top, and that makes a very cute little journaling card. Nice and easy. That can go in there. Now we need something for these pockets. I thought one of these tags would look very cute. This is a little set I got when I was down in Sydney. I can't remember the name of the shop though. And what we might do, yes, that's perfect for in there. We might have to just gently ink the edge of this one too. Oh. Did you see what I just did? Honestly, I won't be getting more ink with the lid on. Okay, that can pop in there. Now let's see, what else have we got here? So the next piece is another tag from the mini kit, and I think we will just do something very simple with this one and add a tiny little bit of ribbon scrap in the center there, sort of, and we might just staple that on. That's nice and quick. And we might pop that one in there. And then just pull that one out a little bit. There we go. Then for this pocket here, I found this cool little 1917 calendar in my stash. That fits in there perfectly. And I have another tag. And I thought what I might do on this little kit here, see this? This is a little decorative strip, but I've got to work out how, oh, actually from this side I can do that. If I cut off one of these, two of them I should say, and we lightly ink around the edges, might have to use my tweezers for this to hold that. No, that doesn't really work. Okay, that's fine. I just don't want to tear it. But it seems to be okay. And if we just grab the glue, put a tiny bit on each side. Again, it is a sticker, but who knows how well it will hold. And then we just pop that on there like that. Try and center it. Fold it over. And that becomes a cute little tab. So that's that one done. Oh, that's perfect. And I think maybe we need another one of these tickets. This little pocket over here is looking a little boring. So let's add a second one. It's quite a narrow pocket, sort of not really worth making a tag or anything because it'll be so slim by the time it goes in there. So we can tuck in another one of those. Oh, hang on. How about we put it in the right way round though? There we go. Then, almost at the end here, I quite like these. So I'm thinking we might add one of those up onto our top pocket. It's the word beautiful and its description. And I think that will be perfect up there. And I think we can call this complete. So firstly, that goes down that way. Oh, actually, we could put something on here too. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, look, how about this? This says precious moments. That might look quite cute. Oh, wait a minute. Something else just caught my eye. Have a look at this. Tiny little scrap and the word plant. What if we put that down there and then the precious moments on top? Oh, this could be fun. Let's try it. Where's my thing? Here, we'll just put some glue on this. Ah, wait a minute. Okay, pop that down there. And then add precious moments. Sort of goes with the theme. Anything else I want to add to this while I'm at it? What other fun little scraps have I got here on my desk that I could put to good use? Look. No, don't like that. Let's forget that. Look, we might just leave it like that, I think. I think that will do. And, of course, then this folds over this way, and this folds over that way, and we wrap it up, and it is done. Except, oh, Nikki, honestly, you never stop, do you? Now, hang on, where did I see? What if we, we could, I wonder if this will work. We fold this in half. Bit hard to do when you have all these fingernails in the way. And we put a tiny bit of glue on it. And we make a little tab for this. Oh, I like that. That worked. There we go. Oh, yes, I like that. So we almost had a disaster, but we managed to save it. And now we have ourselves a very cute little multi-pocket folio. I hope you enjoyed that paper crafting adventure. Almost ended up with a disaster, but thankfully managed to save the day. If you have any questions, pop them down in the box below. If you have time, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It's completely free. And maybe even share. Costs you absolutely nothing, but it's very helpful to me. So until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye for now.